Welcome everybody. Today we're going to go over our Quagga and zebra mussel infestation prevention grant program for 2026. And unless you are presenting, I ask that you please turn off your video and turn on mute so there's no feedback from perhaps ongoing conversations. Today's presentation will be recorded. So a brief introduction. I'm Eddie Hard. I'm the section chief for the Division of Boating and Waterways Aquatic Invasive Species. Secondly, Tim Giles, who is our Park and Recreation Specialist. Mike Rodriguez, our Environmental Scientist. Brandy Vang, our Environmental Services Intern. And our Department of Fish and Wildlife Liaison, Thomas Jensen, Senior Environmental Scientist Specialist.
Good morning, everyone. As Eddie introduced me, Thomas Jensen with CDFW. I'm involved in the grant review process with DBW, providing technical and scientific support and review of the grant applications. Along with me are regional scientists that participate in the review process as well. So I'll just go through our regions real briefly. Unfortunately, a number of them couldn't be here today due to different reasons, but in CDFW Region 1, the northern region, we have Kristen Hubbard serving Del Norte, Humboldt, Lassen, Mendocino, Modoc, Shasta, Siskiyou, Tehama, and Trinity counties. In Region 2, we have Angie Montalvo, that's the north central region, serving Alpine, Amador, Butte, Calaveras, Colusa, El Dorado, Glen, Lake, Nevada, Placer, Plumas, portions of Sacramento, portions of San Joaquin, Sierra, Sutter, portions of Yolo, and Yuba counties. In Region 3, we actually have two contacts, Catherine Mandela and Hannah Giles, and they're in the Bay Delta region, serving Alameda, Contra Costa, Marin, Napa, portions of Sacramento, San Mateo, Santa Clara, Santa Cruz, San Francisco, portions of San Joaquin, Solano, Sonoma, and portions of Yolo County. In Region 4, the current contact is Brian Beal, and that is the central region, serving Fresno, Kern, Kings, Madera, Mariposa, Merced, Monterey, San Benito, San Luis Obispo, Stanislaus, Tulare, and Tuolumne counties. And in Region 5 is the South Coast region. The current contact for Region 5 is Joseph Stanovich, and Region 5 serves Los Angeles, Orange, San Diego, Santa Barbara, and Ventura counties. And lastly, bringing in CDFW Region 6, Inland Deserts region, that's Alex Ledesma. Alex, I'll let you introduce yourself. Thank you for being on the call today.
Hello, my name is Alex Ledesma. I'm Region 6 Environmental Scientist in the Invasive Species Program. I serve Imperial, Inyo, Mono, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Thanks, Alex. And just as a quick note, we have all of their contact information listed on our CDFW invasive species webpage, and I believe DBW provides that as well. Thanks, Eddie, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Thomas and team.
Here's a quick overview of what we're going to be talking about today for the presentation. We'll be going over some metrics, the history of the program, updates since last year, the timeline for the grant program. We'll briefly touch on golden mussels, and we'll briefly touch on AB 149, and we'll provide our website resources, a few application reminders, and our contact information at the end. And as a friendly reminder, if you have any questions, you can put them in chat, but we'll also be addressing all of the RSVP questions at the end of the presentation. Here's our metrics from last year's grant cycle. The image to the right is a thumbnail of the map. We have it on our webpage as well. This map and previous year's maps are all available on our webpage. And the 2025 grant cycle is our most competitive grant cycle so far. The applications we received is 17 applications from 11 unique applicants with 6 projects funded, and $2 million was awarded. And we were unfortunately only able to award $2 million, but we had a overwhelming ask last year. Here is some history on our program. The QZ grant program began with emergency regulations in 2013 and has been rolling out funding each year to uninfested reservoirs since the 2014 cycle. The data on the slide depicts the QZ grant program metrics since the first grants rolled out in 2014/15 and include our latest 2025 awards in August. Each individual star you see on the image to the left represents the approximate location of the reservoirs this program has funded since 2014. And as you can see, we've funded 123 projects, 71 unique reservoirs, 45 unique agencies, and have invested about $28.8 million since inception. So the Mussel Fee Sticker solely funds this QZ grant program. The drop in Mussel Fee Sticker sales, our team embarked on an extensive outreach program. We developed the handy QR code to the left for DMV's webpage where the Mussel stickers are sold. And that blue sticker you see right in the middle, that's what the current Mussel Fee Sticker looks like. It's good until December 31st, 2027. And this is the sticker that should be on all DMV registered vessels boating in freshwater reservoirs. We also revised our QZ flyer to include the QR code. That's the one on the right. It's a front and a back of the flyer. And to clarify that in addition to DMV, the Mussel sticker is also sold at AAA offices for members. And we also have copies of this flyer if you would like any. You can email us and we can send some out to you.
So here's the grant application reminders. A few reminders: applicants cannot apply for overlapping grant cycles for the same reservoir. They'll need to reapply every other year. This means that if a reservoir is currently covered by a 2-year 2025 QZ grant, the reservoir will not be considered for a QZ grant. $2 million in funding is expected to be available this year. Some changes, updates to the grant agreement, added allowable costs associated with consultant contractor work. DBW reserves the right to request and review any agreement made between the grantee and subcontractors at any time for the purpose of verifying compliance with the term of the grant agreement. If any work is being done under the grant agreement which involves the use of watercraft, the grantee is required to provide proof of watercraft liability insurance. Early detection mussel monitoring requirements will remain the same as what is listed in guidance documents through the term of the grant agreement. Required documents before the grant agreement is executed are as followed: contractor certification clause, insurance documentation, signed board approved resolution, or letter of approval if you're a federal agency. Here we have the timeline outlined for the application process. March 9th, Olga opened for applications, and of course, our presentation today on March 13th. April 17th is the application deadline, closes at 5 p.m. July will be award decisions communicated. October would be when the grant agreements would be executed, and the grant terms would expire October of 2028.
Next, we'll briefly touch on golden mussels. While DBW recognizes that the prevention work for quagga and zebra mussels also prevents the spread of other invasive mussels, the statutes and regulations governing the QZ grant program are specific to quagga mussels and zebra mussels. The ability to grant or deny a complete application is based whether the applicant is trying to prevent infestation of QZ in its reservoir. Therefore, the QZ grant program cannot fund activities that discuss the golden mussel for the 2026 grant cycle. Applications which discuss the golden mussel may be disqualified during the interagency review process. When you're filling out your application, please make sure it is for quagga and zebra mussels specifically.
As explained in the previous slide, unfortunately, golden mussel work is not fundable by this grant. We would not be able to reimburse for any work done specifically for golden mussels. Therefore, please keep any mention of golden mussel out of the application. However, keep in mind, when your agency is implementing prevention measures for quagga and zebra mussels, those efforts goes towards preventing the introduction of other aquatic invasive species. With that being said, for outreach purposes, we have a rat card available, which was developed by California Department of Fish and Wildlife. If your agency is interested in the rat card, we still have these on hand. Please reach out using our email, musselgrant@parkca.gov. Next year, there will be changes to the existing grant program pursuant to the new Assembly Bill AB 149. This discussion only pertains to DBW's implementation of this bill, as there are other portions of the bill that will be implemented by other agencies, such as CDFW. Our director, Armando Quintero, has appointed a technical advisory group, and a kickoff meeting occurred on January 22nd. The purpose of the tag is to recommend a new fee structure for the Mussel Fee Sticker. The tag has met twice already, with a third meeting scheduled for March. It is important to note that invasive mussel work, including golden mussel, will be directly fundable for this program. Regulatory changes are required to ensure the success of the next grant program for 2027. Success includes submitting and receiving approval for 2 grant regulatory packages, one for the grant program and one for the Mussel Fee Sticker.
Here's a quick overview of the resources we have available on our website for applicants. We have our grant announcements. We have all of our announcements we've sent out regarding our 2026 grant cycle. Application materials, this is where applicants can find all documents and links relevant to the 2026 application process. Reference materials, the reference materials we have here are provided as additional information for potential applicants. This information includes the following: Tier 1 and Tier 2 project comparison, which just shows the differences between the two tiers and what can and cannot be funded. The grant review and scoring documentation, which is a rubric that we use during the grant scoring process, and early detection mussel monitoring requirements. Additional information for past funded grants can be found in our master QZ grant funding summary spreadsheet and our statewide maps. These maps show our applicants and reservoirs for prior grant years. We also have our QZ staff contact information listed there. Additional helpful information listed under general resources include CDFW informational links and CDFW regional scientist list. Here's our application reminders. It's basically start your app sooner rather than later. Save often to avoid losing any work. Refer to the QZ grant webpage or Olga for updated templates and Olga instructions. Applicants must ensure all required documents are uploaded to Olga by the deadline. Answer and include all information in each section, even if it is mentioned somewhere else in the application. Submit your application by the deadline, which is April 17th at 5 p.m. So this concludes our 2026 update webinar.